I feel like me and Tearmaker aren't just friends anymore. Like, I think we're kissing. I think me and Tearmaker have gone into something else. I've used this website so many times. A, why won't you guys sponsor me? B, welcome back to the Animal Crossing multi-hellverse that I have created for myself by making these constant tier lists. We are back to the humble abode that I constantly lurk in, and we are ranking all of the Animal Crossing squirrels because they are my favorite species, and I'm gonna have to be mean here, which is horrible and disgusting, and I hope that I am put in the stocks for this. I hope they give me the pair of anguish, but you know what? That's fine. Of course, we have to start with going through the wonderful tiers that I have come up with. Up top, we have cricket feet under blanket. If you know, you know. Listen, if I get under that blanket and I'm rubbing my feet together, if I am making cricket motions, I am about to have the best scroll through phone in bedtime that anybody has ever seen in my life. Maybe not the best sleep. I never sleep very well. But you know what? If I'm gonna sit there with the blanket over my head, breathing onto my own phone screen, I'm gonna have the best time ever. It's really something that should be hung up in the Louvre to understand the human experience. You know, sure, there were cave paintings, but really I think the most human thing you can do is have cricket feet under blanket. Hope this helps. Beneath that is cracking your back Twisty style, and what I mean by that is like twisting over and like forcing your back to crack. I know full well this isn't good for me, which is why it's not the top tier. Like, I know that when I do that, I am messing something up. Like, I have to go, oh, you know, like it's wrong, it's bad, it's horrible. It feels like biting into the apple of good and evil, you know what I mean? But you know what? You gotta taste it, you gotta try it. It's pretty good. Below that is Kindle books, and please hear me out for a moment, please. I love reading, I love books. I'm a big book person. I'm a big fan of reading and writing. I love it. But Kindle books give me so much eye strain, even though they're easier than buying like a full-on copy, and they're cheaper than buying a full-on copy. But I cannot look at a little screen with little print for more than an hour without wanting to rip my hair out and feed it to myself. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. Below that is Girl the Strike. I know that the writer's strike is over, and I believe the actor's strike is also over now. Fantastic. I love it. Congrats on the deal. This is for villagers that look like they were a scab. They were written to cover up the asses of having no writers. You know what I mean? Like, they were written to make sure that the studio still had something to put out, but it was shit. It was awful because they didn't hire real writers. And that's for the villagers that I believe got nothing. At the very bottom is When We Were Young ticket prices, because I was ready to put myself in extreme debt. I mean, like $1,000 of debt. Good God, $1,000 of debt to go to this festival, and then it was the $350 ticket prices that really got me. That's what made me not do it, which is a good thing, technically, but I'm still upset about it. I really wanted to go to When We Were Young, Say Anything, and MCR, and Fall Out Boy all at once. What the fuck? I would have given anything to go, but it's fine. I got Hosier tickets. I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'll never be happy again. But you know what? It's fine. Really happy for everybody who got tickets. I am really happy for you. Those are our tiers. Let's get started. At the top there, we have ACNH, which is a little bit concerning to start with, honestly. I feel like I was just catapulted into some kind of horrifying racing movie. You know, whenever you watch a racing movie, like a race car driver movie, like Fast and Furious, you feel like you were just put into something you shouldn't be able to see. Like, you were just drugged and placed in a 3D theater, and you are terrified for your life. Like, every time I see something like that, I feel like I have just unlocked a new dimension of, like, primordial terror. And that's what I feel like when I look at H&S a little bit, you know? I feel like if she was on Fast and Furious, they would sell a lot less tickets. And that is simply because she would make people have hallucinations that cause them to go on mushrooms to stop the hallucinations, okay? Like, there is so much wrong here. And maybe she's a very sweet person. You know, some people with the most horrendous, awful vibes are just great people. I've met multiple people who have the worst vibes ever that I really enjoy. This is just a little bit too much for me. Like, I can't give it a chance. She is speeding in her poster image. Where does she need to go? And why is she looking at the camera like that? Why is she so sinister? You know, you can see through her little visor, and she's just looking at you. She's like, I have a tape of you with somebody, and you know who's in it? Not your husband. Agent S will be looking through your window, and it's like, is that James? That doesn't look like James. I didn't know James was blonde. You know, like, she is out there, she is ready. The entire IRS is scared of her because when she tried to submit her tax forms, she just sent anthrax. And it's really horrible, it's really awful. But you know what? It's also like I kind of respect the grind a little bit. I kind of do. I feel like she is one of those people that you have to look up to just because they had the audacity to do things. You know, some people you're like, those are the worst decisions I've ever seen in my life. Those are horrible. You are ruining your life. But you kind of have to give them props because how do you ruin your life in that way? And her life isn't ruined. No, she's doing fine. Everybody else around her, not doing fine. She's like if a Scorpio had a baby with an Aries and what they popped out decided to become the next Unabomber. I don't know what this is. Like, I can't put her all the way down to the bottom because I don't hate her in that way. I am a little bit fond of her just because she is so horrific. She is such a menace to society. I think that if she did the Nicole Kidman AMC ad, people would feel so threatened that AMCs would have to be like lockdown chambers, okay? You would have to get locked into an AMC. Anyway, I want to go with Girl to Strike, but like she is not a scab. No, this is a character that was written. Somebody wrote this. I'm gonna go with Kindle books because like, yeah, it's kind of there, but if I spend too much time looking at it, something's wrong. Blair, I had Blair for a little while in 2020. I wanted her, I got her. I wanted her in place of Minch, who we'll talk about later, because I was like, she's kind of the cuter alternative. But then I got her, and she was just a fucking menace. Like, I feel like she owns a funeral home in South Vegas, and people just come there to get their ashes shot into, like, the big orb. You know, the Las Vegas orb that they came out with? What the hell is with that? Why can't I broadcast whatever I want? Can I rent out the orb to broadcast whatever I want on it? What if I want to? I would love to do that. She is, like, having funerals underneath that. She is making bank because people want their grandma to be shot up into the air. She is making so much money off of that. And she doesn't even offer like the compassion. She's just like, welcome to Vegas Funeral Home. Do you want your grandma put into red smoke or blue smoke? America. You know, like what the fuck are you talking about? What is she doing? She's a menace. What's wrong with you? Go to hell. But I feel like at the same time, she is like the most immensely talented artist you've ever seen in your life. Like I feel like she could totally like churn out a Monet really quickly right in front of you. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe from her, but like you take a canvas and you just like put it right in front of her and she spits out paint like a pottery wheel. Like she just goes in circles and it spins the canvas. Pottery wheels don't spit out paint, but like if they could, they would be spinning and spitting out paint. You know what I mean? I got a comment the other day that was like, I was gonna say you sound like you're on drugs, and then you said you're on drugs. They were in fact talking about Adderall, which is prescribed to me. But unfortunately, otherwise, I'm not on anything. I'm just like this. I feel like that's a much worse alternative, but I feel like Blair is genuinely my worst nightmare. Blair is my worst nightmare also because she's adorable. Like, she worked at the Sephora counter for years and years. She loved it. Everybody loved her there, but it was all a fake. It was all a facade. She was out there just completely putting on a mask every single day. And I mean, I get her, but she is a severely evil person. She's a severely terrifying person. And you know what? Everybody loves her. Everybody wants to be Blair. And the thing is when you get into that dark underbelly, you're already too far in to like not love Blair. I feel like I still love her though, and that's the worst part. Like I still enjoy this woman. I think she's adorable. I think she's so cute. But do I love her enough to put her in cracking your back Twisty style? That's the question, because it feels wrong. But she feels wrong. You know, it feels wrong to be a fan of Blair because of her evil deeds, because of her awful, terrible, disgusting views on life. She believes in suffering. Cracking your back Twisty style, I think, because it feels gravely wrong, but I still love to do it. Callie is... Like, what happened to the art style for Animal Crossing? Just like real quick here, what happened? Because she kind of looks like she's supposed to be in an indie game about collecting honey. Like she's supposed to be in an indie game with a cast of bears and moose, other such things, you know? But she's not. She's in Animal Crossing. She's with all the rest of these bitches. So it's kind of confusing to me. I feel like she could work at like an old school letter shop, like a paper shop, you know, kind of a crafting bazaar. And that's one of my favorite types of human beings, but I feel like she just smells of paper glue. She just reeks of paper glue, you know, like the envelope scent. One of my least favorite tastes, by the way. Everybody who told you that you had to lick envelopes in TV and media, they're all wrong. I did that once when I was like 10 and I was like, everybody fucking lied to me. Everybody lied to me. What are you talking about? This tastes like piss. This is not fun. This is not okay. I feel like Callie always wanted to be an aviator. Like she always wanted to be a pilot, but her dreams got in the way of like reality, and she ended up kind of failing. She ended up investing all of her money into a plane, and then it crashed Amelia Earhart style, and she lost everything, so she just went to work at her local craft store, and now everybody knows her as the cute craft store girl. She's never wanted to be that. She wanted to be the next Amelia Earhart who didn't get eaten by crabs. She wanted to say, Amelia, I'm sorry, but I'm built different. And you know what? The thing is, she wasn't. She put all of her time into this and only came back to fail, and that's terrifying. And you know what, Callie, I think you should try again, but as a person, I do hate you. Like, I'm not a fan of you as a person. I just wouldn't get along with her well at all. I think she still believes in no sex before marriage. So you know what? It's not my favorite. I'm gonna go with Girl the Strike because like it kind of looks like the Animal Crossing designers were on strike when they made her. You know what I mean? Like there's just something off-putting about her design. I don't know. But go back, chase your dreams, try again. I think you could really do something here, Miss Callie. I do. I believe in you. Anyway, Caroline, I tried for years to like her. I genuinely did because I was like, everybody hates Caroline. Nobody wants Caroline. I'm going to be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned here. And I'm going to be the person who lifts Caroline up, who makes her feel holy, who makes her feel real and loved and beautiful. You know what I mean? And then I tried to and I couldn't because she looks like ketchup and mustard. And I have an absolute issue with ketchup. I don't know what it is. I have an issue. I have a problem with ketchup. And anything that reminds me of ketchup makes me feel sick to my stomach. I don't know why. But even moving past that, why did we go with this color scheme? Because we got the red, we got the yellow, but then we have that blue, and then we have her default dress, which is like cotton candy stripes. Something went horribly wrong here. You know, I love a good complementary color, I really do, but something's not right. Something's not working here. She gives off the vibes that she works at like a deli, and every time she slices your meat for you, she just like makes it slightly too thin so it falls apart in the bag. I haven't gotten deli meat in years. I have not gotten deli meat. However, I remember it very, very vividly when somebody would slight me like that. If they look you in the eyes and they hand you a bag of meat that is falling apart, what is going on there? Why are you slicing it that thin? Why are you doing this? And I mean, some people ask for thin sliced, some people ask for it to be that thin, but if you're doing that simply out of spite, you are an evil individual. That's fine. You can be that way. But I think just going along with the entire design issue of Miss Caroline here, I cannot endorse it. I hate to say it. I can't endorse it. I can't do it. I'm not a fan of it. I'm gonna go with Girl the Strike too, because just, I don't know about all that. I really don't know about all that. I wish I could. I wish I could tell you how I actually felt, but deep down, I think I'm just confused. I think I just don't understand anything about Caroline. I think she is an enigma. I think she's my white whale. Filbert is my son. Filbert has always been my son. He has been on 2 of my islands. I love him to death. Think he's adorable. Think he's so cute. I think he has yeehaw down to a science. He has yeehaw down to the Dolly Parton type science, where it's no longer yeehaw, it's its own special thing. You know, it's not country music. It's not raw eagle music anymore. No. Filbert has created a country for himself where he can be a cowboy without any of its horrifying origins. You know what I mean? He is somebody who has reinvented it. He has become his gay little cowboy dreams, and I really appreciate that. You know, you don't see much good representation for gay little cowboys, except for Brokeback Mountain. You know what I mean? Like, something happened in Filbert's life that made him able to transform pain into good. Filbert has been through it. Filbert has had a childhood full of hardships, and you know what he did? He turned it into boot spurs. He has a horse. Don't ask how that works in universe, don't. And his horse's name is Polly. Okay? I don't understand how he was able to turn himself into something so interesting, something so new. And I think that he has a very public relationship with Frankie Grande. That's great. I'm gonna go with Cricket Feet Under Blanket for my son. I don't know, I love him. I love him so much. He's everything to me. That is my baby. That is the world's best little baby. Look at him sitting down. Look at him with his little hands on his fucking knees. He's so cute. Hazel. I feel like it is kind of like crossed over into like the post-irony era of Hazel. Like originally everybody was like, oh, I hate Hazel. And then everybody loves Hazel now because everybody hates Hazel. So now it's kind of like back to square one to like Hazel, but I have to speak my truth. I like Hazel. I think she's so cute. I think she's adorable. She is very like track runner, track star vibes. I feel like you would go like get a sip of water from her and you would drink it like a gazelle. And I think that's somebody you can trust. You can always trust somebody with an extra water bottle for you. That's really the best type of thing that can happen. Like, sure, she's a little rough around the edges, but she is going to fix something in your basement that was leaking for years and causing you thousands of dollars in damages, and she is going to fix it in 2 minutes for free. She's going to do it for free. She's not even going to ask you for a meal, okay? Hazel's going to do it for free, and Hazel's going to be by your side every single day. And I think about that a lot. There is nobody you can rely on more than Hazel from a very deep standpoint. You have friends and they will come and go. They will come and go your whole life. Hazel never waits for you to call, okay? Hazel picks up the phone when you call, but she never waits for you. Cracking your back Twisty style just because she's not my absolute favorite, but I do love her. I love this woman. She's very special to me. Ione is my ex, and that is very hard to talk about, especially because I made her such a beautiful house with Phoebe and she still insists insists on bothering me. She still insists on coming on my villager hunts and making a scene and causing an issue. She's very immature. And you know what? I thought that was fun at the time. I thought spontaneity was fun. I thought it was interesting. I thought it made life new and cool. It just loses its shine. It loses its time. It loses its spark. And that's what happened with Onlyi for me too, other than the whole, being an awful, awful person. We moved to a new island. She said she was going to come with me, and she didn't. She never showed up. And then she remembered that I was the person who supported her through everything, that I helped her, that I got her out of the rut, and she wanted that back. She wanted that support back, and she won't be getting it because you know what? She fucked up. She fucked up. If she wanted to keep this going, she could have. She could have taken her time. She could have came over. She could have called, even just told me what she was thinking about. I am not going to be going through that again. So you know what? When we were young ticket prices, because I've always been out of her reach. I've always been out of her reach, and I am learning that now. Marshall. Okay. Yeah. Marshall is my favorite little barista. I love him so much. I love a barista coded character, okay? I always will. I think baristas are the backbone of our society. If you're a barista, you have been running this whole world for longer than you know. You are so beautiful to me. I love you. He's also my emo son. I've ranked him many times, so I don't want to spend too much time on this man because he's in every single list. He's in the top 50. He is in the smugs. He is in the blah blah blah. Every single time I have given this man his emo place, and you know what? I don't need to do it again. I don't need to go through that again because these bitches down here I've barely ever talked about except for Poppy. We are not going to give Marshall the time of day just because I've given him so many times of my day. It's just most of the day now, but I love him very much. I love him very much. Cricket feet under blanket. Gotta be one of my sons. Gotta be one of my biggest sons. Big fan of him. I always support my children. Mint. Okay. Mint is a very interesting character to me. Mint is somebody that I feel like I trusted for a while. Like I really wanted Mint desperately for a long time. I thought she was adorable. And then I got her on my island and she proceeded to fuck shit up constantly. I mean, not once did she ever just take a break, just like go in her room and sip on some tea, maybe draw something, maybe draw in a little adult coloring book. I don't know. Something like that. She never once took a day off. And I gotta say that's insane, but like don't take on the capitalist dogma. Okay? Take a break. Take a break from causing problems. She fought with everybody. She fought with me. She decided that everybody who is poor and broke on the island was her enemy, by the way. She has Tiffany diamond earrings in at all times. And you know what? She wants people to know that she's got money. She came from old money. She won't say that to you. She'll say that she has worked very hard for it, but it's old money. It's been sitting there for a long time. It was a trust fund, you know what I mean? But if you don't have any new clothing, if you don't have any designer bags, any items that are neat and cool, if you look even slightly out of her reach, she is coming for you. She is causing a problem. She's making a scene. That's really interesting to me because I feel like Mint thinks that she's the shit, but she has really just been working for nothing her entire life. She doesn't have to do anything. She is so bored and she is so out of it that she has to sit there and make sure she's other people's problems. And it was really entertaining to watch, unless it was directed at me. It was a good show to put on, but I feel like she could have done so much better. She could have just picked like a different bone. You know what I mean? Like the poor angle is a little bit much. It's a little much. Not a big fan of it. You know, we're going through a recession right now. Kindle books, probably. I would have to say Kindle books. I feel very strongly about that. You know, she's just not the real thing. She's a poser. She's a fake. Nibbles has always been in the back of my mind, pretty much, I would say. I don't think I've ever gone through a time where, like, I wasn't thinking about Nibbles in at least some capacity. I want to put her in a beaker and study her. I want to sit there and, like, wonder what makes her the way that she is. Because I feel like she's the kind of person who would put motor oil into your French fries at a McDonald's just to see what you would do. Like, would you come up and try and exchange them and say, this tastes like motor oil? Because I'm pretty sure everybody knows kind of what motor oil would taste like. I have an idea in my head. So like if you taste your fries or something, right? And they taste like motor oil, like you're very sure it's motor oil. What do you even do? You know, because clearly that means somebody fried them with motor oil. Do you go up and you say, hey, what? How? How did you do this? How could you possibly have done this? Or do you just like throw them away quietly? Or do you eat them? What do you do? And I think that she would sit there and think like, okay, what is the worst human experiment I could think of? How do I make sure people are the most uncomfortable with my existence? And how do I make it benefit my own horrific, terrible fantasies, right? How do I make that work? And she thinks about that a lot. She thinks about that as much as I think about her, which is too much. I would like to see a horror movie made specifically out of Nibbles, you know, just made because Nibbles exists. I would like to know how people could spin that, how people could make that work, because I think in the realest and rawest of senses, Nibbles is going to be the next Jim Jones, and I believe that very firmly, and I think that's true. Anyway, think about it. I don't know. When we were young ticket prices, gotta be one of the most terrifying people I've ever met in my life, so not really a fan. Peanut is Miss Americana. Peanut has been on the back of Donald Trump for 10 years. Peanut thinks that the earth has only been around for 500 years and that America was one of the first countries. Peanut shops at Hobby Lobby, not because she even likes to craft, but just because she wants to support Hobby Lobby. Peanut goes to a farmer's market specifically to piss in people's peaches. When Peanut wakes up, the first thing she does is douse herself in perfume from Mary Kay and then goes out and sells Mary Kay. There is nobody I trust less on this earth than Peanut. I think that Peanut wants me dead. I think that Peanut wants a lot of us dead. I think that Peanut is ready and willing to hire a sniper to take us all out. I feel like Peanut is married to the owner of a Fortune 500 company and likes to cosplay as a middle-class woman. What's up with Peanut, you may ask? Why do I think all of these things about her? Because I witnessed them firsthand. Because she lived on my island and I could never get her off. I tried multiple times, and you know what? The squirrels are my favorite species. They're my favorite species ever, but I have beef with a lot of them. And I would like to tell you all about cognitive dissonance, because I have a lot of it. Anyway, I'm gonna go with Kindle books, and this sounds insane, even though I hate her deeply, but like, damn. She puts a lot of work into that. She does. I have to say that I respect it. You know, I don't agree with it. I don't like it, but I respect it. Because how the hell do you spend your life doing that and not want to die? Oh my god. There's a better life. She'll never take it. She'll never even look at it. But I hope she knows that there is better out there. Pecan is definitely like full-on wine ant vibes. Like, I learned how to do my eyeliner from her. I learned how to pirate a movie from her. Like, she was the only person willing to take me to Hot Topic. You know what I mean? Like, Pecan doesn't give a fuck. Pecan doesn't take shit from anybody. I think she was one of the first people to show up to a Led Zeppelin concert with like full-on 80s hair metal hair. I think she did her time in the goth scene in the 80s, and god do I love an older goth. I know she's at least in her 50s or 60s. Like, she's going fucking crazy. She's going crazy. I love this woman. I adore this woman. I think she's very special. She's an asshole, certainly. Like, she is rude, but she takes it with stride. I think she had a secret band and she was like having an affair with Justin Timberlake at some point. I don't know. It's an interesting life that Pecan lives, and that really gives me a lot of hope for my future, you know? I think she aged so gracefully. I think she aged so beautifully, and I think that we should all make sure that women feel supported as they age. Don't let anybody ever dull your shine. Go, girl. You go. I love you. Cricket feet under blanket. I don't know. I just stand. I do. Poppy is one of my absolute favorite people on this earth. Poppy is my favorite villager ever. I have a giant plushie of her. I have multiple merch items of her from Etsy. She is my villager of all time. She is my Roman Empire. I love her so much. I finally got her to move on to 14 recently, so that's fucking cool as hell. I love her. I adore her. Just tell me looking in her face doesn't bring you a certain amount of joy, okay? Usually when I like villagers, it's because I become good friends with them, but she has been in my psyche for years before I even knew her. She was always a part of me. She was always baking baklava on the back of my head, and that's really special. That's a bond that you don't get to see often. I feel like we are truly friend soulmates, me and Poppy. We have been through it all. We have been through 3 years together, and we have loved every second of it. We are getting matching tattoos, and good ones at that. We're not getting silly little one-line motherfucking tattoos, okay? We are getting cool-ass traditional style tattoos together, and that's what life is going to be like for the rest of ours. You know? We're going to be beautiful together. We're going to be fun together. We're going to go to concerts. We're going to go to festivals, and I will always know that when I look over, Poppy will be there to support me, and that's something you don't see. You just don't see it anymore. Cricket feet under blanket. I love this woman. I always will. She has been there for me. She has been my rock. She's special. She's so special. And I want everybody to know that. So just support Poppy, stream her on SoundCloud or whatever. I don't fucking know. Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky. Oh my god. I do want to catch him. I want to catch Ricky. I don't like him. I don't like him. He is so Tom and Jerry coded. He's gonna like drop an anvil on your head and squish you to 1 inch. That's what he's gonna fucking do, and it's gonna be for fun. He's gonna take a block of cheese and he's gonna dress it up like a hot woman. He's gonna dress it up like a hot woman, and then he's going to like take the cheese out. It was in a trap the whole time. It was in a trap. You are now glued to the floor. He is gonna chase you around a little hamster wheel until you pass out, and then you're gonna wake up in his dungeon where he has the stocks, where he has the fucking guillotine. He's never gonna let you see the light of day. He's going to keep torturing you in increasingly cartoonish ways. You know, you see that guy and he's gonna go, what do we have here? No, No. My neighbor decided to turn on some rattly ass machine and make me pause recording this, so I'm extra mad at Ricky now. What is that? He looks like if you took a Pac-Man character and ran it through a Waluigi filter. What the hell is that thing? What is that? Oh my god, I stand by everything I said. I hate him. I'm very young ticket prices. Go to hell. Go to hell. Get away from me, Ricky. When I catch you. Sally is the most underrated woman I've ever seen in my life, okay? You look at Sally, look at me as a person here, as a real life person, look at me in the eyes and tell me you don't love Miss Sally. You don't love her. She's chill as hell. She looks great. She looks like she's having a really good time. I wish I was having as good of a time as Sally was. Look, she's beautiful. She's a simple squirrel. She's simple. She's easy. She's wonderful. You hang out with her and you're like, yeah, you could be a really cool waiter at a cafe. You know, you could work at a museum if you wanted to. You could be anything you want. She's a Barbie. She could be anything she wants to be. And she chooses to work at home and hand embroider little tiny jackets that she gives to people, and their dogs wear them. And I think that's a really special thing. Nobody else is doing it like her. Look at her. That eyeshadow. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that color. I adore it. You know, you really make me happy, Sally. You make me feel happy. She's stunning. I love her so much. Look at her little round ears. I feel like you could make a perfect like Puff Pals plushie out of her. She's squishable. She's soft. She is going to listen to everything you have to say and nod and go, I know. This world is so cruel. And you're going to be like, Sally, do you want to kiss me on the mouth? Do you want to kiss me on the mouth, Sally? And you know what? Maybe she will. Maybe she will if you're cool enough. If you're a little bit cool, she might. But Sally overall is the personification of a bread baker. She's so gorgeous. She's stunning to me. I will never see somebody as gentle-hearted but so firm. I feel like at some point we knew each other. We did. We knew each other. We were real and we were together and we were special, and that's what life is. That's what human connection is all about, is just getting to know somebody like I know Sally. Love her so much. Big fan of her. Cracking your back Twisty style. I don't know. I like her. I like her. Sheldon, on the other hand, makes me wish that human euthanasia was a thing. I hate Sheldon not just because he shares the name with Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, which is probably my least favorite show of all time. You could make a show that was specifically targeted at making fun of me and calling me slurs, and I would enjoy that show 20 times more than I enjoy The Big Bang Theory. 80 times maybe. I don't know, I might even rank it on one of my top lists of TV shows if it was against The Big Bang Theory. But look at his face. Look how much he just wants to call you a slut. Okay, like look at him. He thinks that he should be the top banker at American Express just because he once solved a math problem faster than anybody else in his 5th grade class. He thought that he had the world in his hands for years. He was treated so well. He peaked in high school. This is the absolute epitome of peaked in high school. And now he thinks that he can translate that over to adult life. Like when he talks to his coworkers, nobody's gonna want to go to the bar with you after work, Sheldon. Nobody wants to be around you, I assure you of that. Nobody wants to breathe in the scent of Axe body spray and 2-week-old whiskey. Okay, nobody's asking for that. Nobody's looking for that. He thinks he can code because he made a Wix site once. He made a Weebly. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Let me know how that goes when you get hired for the video game development job, which you won't get hired for because you look like that. I'm sorry, Sheldon. I wish I could give you some kind of leeway here. Okay, I want to give you a leeway. I want to give you some time. I want to be like, yeah, I like that guy. I like that weirdo. I like that freak. No, I can't because I don't lie to people. I lie to people a lot. I love it. I think it's fun. But you know what? I won't lie about you right now. Look at his eyebrows. Look how angry he is at your mother for giving birth to you. I cannot believe that they just let him walk around for free. Like, that is the epitome of a human stress ball. I want to throw him at the wall. I want to bounce him up and down. I want to dunk him in cement and let him dry. This is my worst nightmare. This is my least favorite man on this earth. Absolutely horrible when we were young ticket prices. The last person I want to see. If I was dying in a hospital and they said, you have one last chance at human connection, do you want to see Sheldon? I'd say, unplug me. Static is a really mixed bag for me right now because I love him. I do. Like, I love him so much, but he has been an absolute menace ever since I got him on my island, and I have a scene island, so like, you would imagine he fits in perfectly. He's beautiful. He works. His colors are Monster Energy vibes. He looks great. He looks perfect. And I really enjoy a good old-fashioned elder emo. Multiple of my best friends are elder emos, and I love them deeply. But like, I genuinely believe that he is the worst of the worst. Like, he is somebody who is going to slam you down in the mosh pit pit and break your nose off, and nobody's gonna care. What if you get injured in the pit? Oh, you look up, it's static. He might be 2 feet tall, but he just demolished you. And the reason I have a problem with him right now is because he decided to get into a relationship with someone I deeply hated on the island. So like by proxy, I now hate him. Like we were good best friends for a while, but like now we're at a standstill and I have a problem with him. And I wish I could get over it, but I just really can't because he refuses to have an open and honest conversation with me, and I value communication a lot. So you know what, Static? Can you give me a minute? Can you just like give me some time and we'll talk about this? We can be mature about this. You don't have to sit there and give me that look. You don't have to look at me like that. You can just take this in. You can think about it. You can really root through it and try and find a cause to talk it over with me, because I don't like that you did that. I don't enjoy it, but I want to go back to being good friends with you. I think you're a great guy. I do. I think you're fantastic, but we can't live like this. We can't live on the same island just side-eyeing each other all the time and going, ugh, I'm not letting that happen. And you know what? Derwin isn't even on the fucking island anymore. Derwin is gone. Derwin was the other offender. So you know what? Can we just get over this and talk about it? Because apparently we can't. I'm gonna go with Curl the Strike because he's been on strike in regards to talking to me, and I would really like for that strike to end. Can we come to a deal? But he can move up, and before this happened, he would have been in Cricket Feet, okay? Let's do this. Let's try it again, and we will come to an agreement, okay? There's something really sick about the way that I fight with Animal Crossing villagers. I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, Sylvana is home to the most beautiful gingerbread house in my heart. She is the sweetest little baby. She's a ferret, I believe, or she's supposed to be a ferret. I love her so much, and her big eyes work a lot better than Callie's big eyes, in my opinion. Like, she has the perfect, like, round, adorable, sweet little... Is a plane flying over me right now? Jesus. She has the most adorable, sweet little demeanor. Like, she has always been nothing but kind to me. She's been very similar to Poppy, but just we're not as close. She had a relationship with Portia on one of my other islands, which is funny because, you know what? She has been a great partner for, like, learning how to knit. I still don't know how to knit, but I feel like we could sit down, we could knit together. She is definitely a fabric arts kind of person. Apparently there's been a lot of drama in the fabric arts community lately. I don't know. I'd like to hear about that. If y'all have any, like, insider tea on the fabric arts drama lately, I would love to know about that. Would love to hear, but I hear that there's been a lot of turmoil, and I think that she's deeply involved in that. Like, it's actively stressing her out right now. Like, if you say, Sylvana, what's going on? What's happening? She'll be like, well, this girl I know from the fabric arts Reddit is like getting into really bad shit right now, and like apparently she stole this pattern from somebody, and I just feel weird because like now I'm incriminated, now I'm involved, and I feel weird posting my ponchos. Sylvana, babe, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, I promise you. But I love you and I love your enthusiasm. You're such a sweetheart. Cracking your back Twisty style. That's my baby. I love her so much. Look at her little kiwi dress. Don't you just want to like hold her in your hands and cry? You know, hold her up to the camera like a beauty guru. That's my baby. That's my adorable little baby. I love her so much. Sylvana forever. We all know a Tasha. I'm sorry, but we do. Like, look at Tasha and tell me you don't know a Tasha. I know at least 3 Tashas. Like, that is insane energy. That's crazy energy. But you know what? I love it. She is one of those people who is super into Halloween. Like, I'm pretty into Halloween. Like, I really love Halloween, but I'm not like spending my entire paycheck on Halloween. She's spending her entire paycheck on Halloween. It's because she does like scaring children. She has been happily married for 3 years, but she never talks about her wife. Never. She is so happy, but she doesn't like to seem happy. She likes to seem cool and suave, but she knows deep down that she's just a big old sap. She's just a big old fucking sap. She has been a fan of Star Trek longer than Star Trek has been a fan of Star Trek. You know what I mean? This is a Star Trek girly. Look at her. I would just have so much fun having a good night out with her. You know what I mean? I don't do night outs very much. I just don't. But for Tasha, I would give it a chance. She knows all the good speakeasies. That's the girl of the year for me. I wish that I could like sit down and tell you I don't like her because she's a bitch. She's the kind of bitch that you really enjoy just like watching throw down. She gets into fights constantly. She gets into really bad tussles. And that's okay. That's fine. Support women's wrongs. Like, that's my girl. That's my girl. She carries around brass knuckles and she thinks it's so cool, and it is cool. It's so cool. Cricket feet under blanket. Sorry, I told you guys at the beginning that my favorite species were the squirrels, okay? So we're all understanding of why so many are ranked highly. I don't know, I love them. I love them deeply, but there are some misses here. Let me know how these squirrels have wronged you. And thank you to all of my members. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to join the channel, you can click the little join button next to the subscribe button and join the channel for $2 and you get podcasts. It's cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next time. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and goodbye.